Hi, I'm homosexual Brian Safi.
And I'm feminist Erin Gibson.
And this is Attitudes, LGBT plus issues,
gender issues,
pop culture.
Ooh, got so much stuff on my teeth I could barely even stand it.
Can you handle it? I
stopped brushing my teeth. That's my protest.
Your protest against what? Your skeleton?
Trump.
Honey, honestly,
when they have to talk to me, they're getting stinky breath.
There's no way he brushes his teeth. So as far as I'm concerned, you're just aligning yourself with him.
No, that guy is walking plaque.
Right. So do you want to be, you're going to be like him?
Good talk. Good talk. Yeah, I'll stop.
Okay. I saw something the other day that said that the teeth is the only part of the skeleton we clean. I thought that was very interesting.
Isn't that incredible?
It's incredible, the human body, I got to tell you.
They might be the only parts that are exposed, is why?
That's right. Want to see my skeleton?
Look at those curly skeletons.
That's what people should say instead of saying cheese when they smile. Skeleton, show us your skeleton.
By the way, do you know how absolutely gutted I am right now thinking about that it's our skeleton just piercing through our flesh, just exposing itself?
I know it's horrifying.
I don't like it.
I hate thinking about it. And also, I feel bad for the rest of my skeleton that I can't get a little toothbrush and shine and polish it up.
I know. Do you ever use those tiny fuck you Mother Earth toothbrushes on set?
No, I just take my regular old big old toothbrush.
The one that they use for teachers when they're like trying to show people clown style. Yeah,
exactly. And I take my mirror and I use my mirror to look at my molars. I call them my molders. Do you know what I mean?
Because they smolder.
Exactly. My molars are very sexy. And speaking of sexy, our lady attorneys are here with us live.
That's right. Some of them at it's 2 a.m. where they are.
Absolutely. Yeah. Tom is in fucking England, and it's 2 a.m. where he is. So thank you for being here, Tom. I can't imagine
Aubrey from Wyoming. This is amazing. We've got new people here tonight.
That's right.
We do this every month in case ICYMI.
Now, Erin, are we going to talk about it?
Yeah, I think you should bring it up. And just so we're not in a fight.
Not yet.
Just now, so everyone knows we're not in a fight.
We might be sometime in between the months of May and September of 2025. That is yet to be determined.
Mm-hmm.
Because it could be 5 or 6
that's when I'm
days.
available.
No, I know. Erin and I went to a gala this weekend because our dear friend, Harper Steele, who, by the way, if you haven't seen the Will and Harper documentary on Netflix with Will Ferrell and Harper, it's a road trip movie. Erin, you're so America right now. She's doing thumbs up and there's fireworks happening behind her.
Zoom can eat my ass.
If you haven't seen Will and Harper, do yourselves a favor. It's so funny.
It's right there on Netflix.
And incredibly moving. And I hope it wins the Oscar this year for Best Documentary. But Harper very graciously, and it was such an honor, asked us to present this award that she was receiving at the wayOUT Gala for her impact this year. We were only too honored to do it, and a bunch of really cool people there. Paula Pell was being honored. Amy Poehler was there. Matt Rogers we saw. But they had auction items.
Yeah. And they did really, truly no warning. It felt like the auction was just, we were watching people say funny things on stage, and then all of a sudden we were in an auction.
All of a sudden they were bidding on some cool stuff, trips, places. And I knew that I wanted to support this organization in a big way, because essentially this year they were supporting, is it Outright Vermont? Is that what it was called? Or Out?
I think so. Yeah, it's a queer camp in Vermont that right. Bought a Boy Scout camp.
Yes, this queer camp that bought a Boy Scout camp and is now having a camp tailored to LGBT plus youth. Now, listen, my memories of camp as a kid, and I just started recording. My memories of camp as a kid were were really fucking traumatic. Like, I hated it. I went like 6 years for sleepaway camp. I hated it so much.
Did you have to go?
Yes, and it was the worst. And I was obviously teased and all this. So the idea of supporting
Wait, but didn't you get to meet a donkey man? Was there a man with a donkey you told a story about once? An old cowboy?
Oh, no, you're thinking of Poki Roni.
Yeah.
No, that was
at a birthday party?
Yeah, that's what was, we grew up in El Paso. There were horses.
Yeah.
That was the birthday
There's horses
party.
everywhere, I hate to tell you, but go ahead.
No. So where I was. And that was the place, Poki Roni, which, by the way, Erin, you braiding your hair right now, you'd fit right in. Because
I don't like it
everyone
when I
who
have
worked there
sloppy braids.
had braids. So Poki Roni was the place. I used to have my birthday party there when I was a kid. We all did. Everybody did.
That's the thing you did in El Paso.
Pony rides.
If you weren't at Poki Roni, you were nobody in El Paso.
Oh my God, you were nobody. I would wear that yellow, mustard yellow coat that to me Maura wears in The Substance. I would wear that right on that pony.
Yeah, I'll never get tired of hearing references to this movie
Anyway,
I'll never
she wears
see.
that yellow coat. So I would go right on that pony. But Poki Roni was the place where very casually, when I was like 12, I asked my mom why we didn't go to Poki Roni anymore. And she was making coffee and she turned around and looked at me very casually and said, because one of the men who worked there shot his mother in the face at the location. She was the owner. I was 12.
This is why I'm telling you, this is what makes our generation unstoppable.
It was before school. I had to go to school to 4th grade, I believe, maybe 5th. And with the image of, and I knew that woman and her son, with the image of that woman's son walking into her trailer, shooting her in the face, and then Poki Roni closing.
Yeah.
So that was quite an education.
But we're talking about a camp for queer kids.
Okay, hang on. So,
listen, your trauma is valid. And you are valid, Bryan.
Okay.
Your trauma and you are valid.
So listen. All of this to say, there were auction items and they were cool. Like one was a trip to Joshua Tree. One was a really cool
trip to Cuba.
To Cuba. It sounded amazing. I knew I wanted to support this organization in some fashion. So all of a sudden, an auction item comes up. And it's like, basically they say, ever wanted to go to the Green River? And Erin and I stare at each other. Nothing registered.
But I don't understand when the joke started because you kept saying this is a joke.
Honey, it is by far the most expensive joke I've ever made in my life. 5 or 6 days of whitewater river rafting. Now, Erin, I have gone whitewater river rafting once in my life, and I was thrown out of the boat.
With who? Well, that happens a lot.
And you
With
have
who?
to stick your legs out in front for when you hit the rocks.
Yeah.
So you can like bounce off them.
Yeah.
With my
what
brother
class
and
rapids
sister.
were they? What class?
Yeah, first class. So.
Oh, you were with your brother and sister? Well, I have no doubt they threw you out. Sorry. Wouldn't put it past them.
So all of a sudden, 5 or 6 days, whitewater river rafting on the Green River in Utah. Now I have to tell you, the pictures do look pretty. But I was like, I want to bid on something. And there was no one bidding on it. So it was like first bid up and they were waiting. And I was like, well, I know that I'm not.
But first of all, come on. Now, this is not to shame an organization doing good work.
Right.
But they have a bunch of gay people in the audience and they're auctioning off whitewater rafting.
Listen, I have to imagine. I agree. And I have to imagine it must be queer owned or something.
I should fucking hope so.
So my paddle goes up because I'm like, whatever. And then every single person at our table and other tables and the auctioneer looks at me and starts laughing. Okay? Including the auctioneer. And I start laughing because I'm like, that is actually hilarious. I could not stop laughing, Erin. And every time.
Were you getting outbid and then you bid again?
Twice the auctioneer would look at me and be like, Bryan, are you really going to do this? And I was like, yeah.
The rebel inside of you needs to chill sometimes because you literally were like bucking against authority. You're like, oh, you don't think I can do this? Watch me. I'm going to go whitewater rafting in Utah.
5 or 6 days.
Yeah.
I went for an hour.
Now, why did they give you a choice of 5 or 6 days?
Because they said sometimes they only want to do 5 and sometimes they want to do 6.
Well, I'll tell you what you want to do. I know it already.
Well, Erin, the deal is you're coming with me. So anyway, I won this whitewater river rafting excursion in 2025.
Which means camping.
See, that they didn't say.
Because if it's 5 days of rafting, you literally go down the river and you spend the night and then I'm pretty sure.
I can't think of anything worse than waking up in a tent and the first thing I have to do is get in a river. In a raft.
I'll tell you what's worse. Having gone rafting, and this is what you need to prepare yourself for because it's absolutely necessary. You need to buy your own wetsuit because you do not want to be in a rented wetsuit because people pee in them to stay warm. And then you're renting those and they don't often wash them with soap. They just rinse them out. So you and I need to get some sexy ass wetsuits, okay?
Yes, I am going to carry a giant gay flag. And if anyone is interested in watching me cross the Delaware like George Washington, I will do it.
Oh, Devin's suggesting we all go as a lady attorney journey.
Oh my God, now that would be fun.
Let's see. Okay, how about this? Let's see
if
how
we can fill this boat.
Okay, I bet it's, well, I don't know if this is from there. This is 6 or 7 people.
Briley just said, we went rafting with our church when we were kids and we kept saying, look, Jesus is behind that tree. Pointing toward the shore.
Well, I think you should do that.
Are we going to do a Jack and a Rose in the White River?
I think the safest place to stand on the bow of a ship is when you're in Round Rapids.
We need to stand the entire time at the front of the raft. So anyway, I'm going whitewater river rafting and Erin's coming with me, she said, unless your schedule doesn't allow, which I'll understand, or you can back out for any reason. But it would be great if we could fill this boat.
Well, let's fill this boat. And
honey, there's no way that one of us will know what to do.
I've been. I went earlier this year in Vancouver.
And I remember with your
but I didn't
cast
guess.
And crew.
Well, I did say when we were done, I was like, that was too short. Because let me paint a picture of what is good about it. What's bad about it is you don't know who's on your boat, which is exactly why we stacked the deck.
And see, that makes me nervous because I don't know what kind of, heretics or anything like that.
Okay, number 2.
Know what kind of, yeah.
It is when you are going, I want to see pictures from the tour company. It was literally like we were rafting in a painting. It was so stunning.
Well, so all the scenery that I found, I did look up this place. It looks absolutely untouched and gorgeous. Like I do feel like probably cars can't get there. You know what I mean? Like it feels that way.
Here's my thing. I do need to figure out, like, I am old. I have sciatica.
No, we take out insurance.
But I need to sleep on not the ground.
That's the problem. I know that's the problem. Is that we'll see if there's like a lodging option that we can take.
Okay. I'll have a limo pick us up at a Mercedes pass van pick us up at every stop
we'll
and
get
take
a couple chihuahuas, put them in our purse.
Yeah, I like this.
This will be perfect.
I love it.
So anyway,
well, I'm very excited.
Are you?
Nonetheless. And then, by the way, also last week was What a Week. I went to Brian's show, which was brilliant.
Thank you for coming to my show, everybody. I'm going to do it again in New York and LA in the spring, so I'll send out dates for that. But thank you for coming. And Erin, especially thank you.
It was so fun. And I had one beer and it was great. I just had a beer and watched my friend be funny.
I thank you.
Isn't that what we all want in our life?
Well, a couple of people said, and you did, you and Jenny came up to me after and you gave me the sweetest hug. And then you ran out like a little mouse because I know that you have
sleepy.
Long days and you were sleepy. But many people after said, oh my God, Erin was here. And people said, they said to me, I know that you two used to have a thing about how funny it was when someone would come up to you and say, Erin's so funny, or someone would come up to Erin and say, you're so funny.
And here I am about to do it.
Yes. And they said, so please tell Erin we think she's hilarious. And I was like, well, you know what? I'll gladly deliver that message. But I will be doing the show again for anyone it was sold out. So for anyone who couldn't come, but I had so much fun and I hope you did too.
Someone flew in from Colorado.
Someone flew in from Toronto. How about them apples?
Well, I would have gone to the New York show.
So they came to that one too. My beloved Henry.
Whoa. Incredible.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else to talk about because we've spent all week together.
Oh, except this. Excuse me, Erin. I'm so sorry that it was such a horrible week for you.
I'm just saying, I'm simply offering you the opportunity to move on.
That's fine. The last thing I want to say is that it's another week where Wicked, the movie, if you can believe it, has not come out. Doesn't it seem like this should have come out 3 months ago?
What are they waiting for?
I don't know why they are waiting for, Erin. I really don't.
Why are they waiting for?
I don't know. And finally, are you on Blue Sky?
Yeah.
Me too. I don't think I have any followers though.
Well, you know what? We're going to change that tonight.
Hey, everyone, follow us on Blue Sky. We're there with open arms.
Attitudespod.bsky.social.
Sure. And I think we each have our own. But anyway,
we bought some
the first thing I saw on there when I went on there today, and I'm going to talk about her in a second because she's so fabulous, was the first comment I saw on someone's post was something completely bigoted and horrific. So listen, we can't control this population. It's unhinged. But yeah, okay, we've got a lot on the docket today. As we said, our lady attorneys are here, and anyone can join a live, what are we calling it, Zoom of the taping of this, along with a Q&A after by going to patreon.com/attitudes and joining at the lady attorney level, which we would love.
We also have a Vault episode 65 there, New York live show, where Erin asks what bukkake is. Now, I don't know if this stands the test of time.
You know, we're going to see. We're going to see. But I will say we haven't released a Vault live app yet, so.
Bryan educates us on bro culture, which is just jerking off into socks. And we call No Name, Big Teeth, Small Mouth, and Mel Gibson.
This is an early show. Right on time. Yeah, no, this I think must have been our very first New York live show.
Yeah.
Maybe second. I don't know where we were. Maybe at the Bell House or something.
We have this new thing we're doing, number 11, for the $10 and over tiers. We got 90s culture, a book you can eat, Miss Piggy, and more.
I love Miss Piggy.
Groceries, season 4. For the $10 and over tiers. All 10 audio episodes are out now for the $10 and over tiers on Patreon. You can buy, if you just want to go on there and buy it, maybe you're at the $5. You can buy the entire season 4 collection with video and audio for $20.
Yeah, you get all the video and all the audio of the new season for $20. Or if you're $10 plus tier, you get it with anyway.
You get it with all your other cool stuff.
That's right. Plus, we're on YouTube. You can get the first act of our video episodes every week free. Just find us by searching Attitude Spot. Plus, we have an Instagram broadcast channel. Sergio will be sharing bonus clips, archive videos, and more. So if you go to our Instagram at AttitudesPod and join by tapping the Tudes Behind the Scenes link under our bio. So go to AttitudesPod and join the Tudes Behind the Scenes link under our bio. That is brand new, not to mention, we just said we're leaving Twitter and X, and we will be at Blue Sky. And finally, our gorgeous, perfect Sergio Lopez has been starring. And by the way, Sergio Lopez also goes by Showtime Chamaco. Is starring in Seussical the Musical as Horton the Elephant from November 21st to December 15th at the Stockton Civic Theater in Stockton, California, where I famously saw Black Swan in a movie theater because I got lost. So if you're in Northern California, go and support local theater.
Should we get into some shoes?
Let's do it.
I need a break from politics. So I thought, wouldn't it be nice to traipse into the gender fuckery of the medical institutions in this country?
Absolutely.
Wouldn't that be fun?
I love a visit to the hospital. It lightens your spirits.
Well, Bryan, I don't know if you knew this, but 100 years ago on this podcast, we talked about how there's gender bias in medical research. And
yes, of course.
I'm here to tell you, it's going strong.
I love this. I love this for the whole team.
We talked about it earlier. We mentioned, like, we talked about Xanax, or not Xanax. What was the sleeping pill? Ambien.
Sure.
And how they weren't testing it on women, and women were going to the hospital because they were like
effects. Yeah.
Yes. And it turns out they needed a lower dosage. Even today, in the preclinical stage, I don't believe in animal testing, but they're only doing it on men. So I guess that's half wrong.
They only test on male animals?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
They don't test on women animals?
No. Because always and forever, our reproductive systems are so complicated. Oh, which reminds me, I just got a book. Where's my purse? I put it somewhere else. Anyway, it's called Ejaculate Responsibly.
Okay.
It's about how abortion rhetoric is focusing on the wrong person.
Right. That it should be more
It should focus on the person who's fertile every day of their entire life rather than the person who's like got weird windows and like the hormones are all different. All the reasons that they test medical stuff on men.
Focus on the person when they say I got pregnant, focus on the person who got them pregnant. How about that?
Do you know, like, if you have sex, which I don't recommend.
Yeah, you know what? It's lost, for me, it's lost some charm. Not all of its charms, but it's lost some charm.
If you have sex, if you're in a cis het, and you have sex on a Monday, and you're ovulating, and your egg is like, I'm not quite ripe. That sperm can last for 5 fucking days, and you can have sex on a Monday and get pregnant on a Friday, even though you only had sex on a Monday.
I am so proud of my guys. That's what I call them.
Sorry, helicopter's going over my fucking house.
Oh, that's okay. I can't.
Maybe pause so I can hear my own thoughts.
I can only hear my own voice.
So in 1977, the FDA created a guideline that recommended excluding women of childbearing age from drug trials. And this was because of thalidomide, which is, again, not these women's fault. Mm-hmm. And that kind of started everything off for this kind of fucking discrimination. Women weren't even required to be included in clinical research until 1993 in the UK. And then 4%, only 4% of healthcare research and development funding is reserved for women.
4%?
Yeah, that's it.
Why don't they just mandate that boys get vasectomies at like 15 and then reverse them when they turn 30?
I would reverse them when they've babysat. How about that?
Yeah.
How about you go nanny for a week and then you can prove, and then if you can survive that, then you can undo your vasectomy. This is only for straight guys.
Yeah.
It's really a problem because if you could bridge the women's health gap, you can actually boost the economy by $1 trillion by 2040. Because what you would get is medicine that actually works for women. You would get fewer early deaths, you would get fewer health conditions, and a greater capacity for women to just be healthy. This is a report by McKinsey and the World Economic Forum. So it's like a no duh, but nobody will do. It's a no duh but no do.
Yeah.
Women spend 25% more time in their life in debilitating health than men. 25% more time because the medicine doesn't work for them. It doesn't work for us. Like, okay, right. For example, asthma. Asthma affects both men and women at similar prevalence rates. The main recommended treatment for asthma is inhaler therapy. Mm-hmm. Studies indicate that inhalers are 20% less effective in helping reduce symptoms in women.
See, that's so upsetting. I mean, really, like, just spend the money to get it right.
I'll tell you what doesn't need
richer economy.
Well, I'll tell you what does get a bunch of funding. Breast cancer.
Right.
You've got to save the tatas. Because everyone loves the tatas, but they don't like your lungs.
Plus I bought Energizer batteries in October that had pink on them.
Oh, because they're pink? Do you know how hard it is some of these companies not to buy it? It's like your only option.
I know. It's like, are they...
Wasn't Susan G. Komen also canceled?
I have no idea.
For doing weird stuff? I think she was. You know what? I think she was.
Okay, I guess yes.
Quote me on it.
Fine.
Anyway, I'm not advocating drug use, but I am. As a person who picks up Xanax off of a gym floor, and by the way, still has them because I'm a depression-era grandma. And you better believe I don't take them unless I absolutely need them. It's important that also, like, there's no reason for it. Well, the reason is that it's more expensive to do research on women, but who cares? Then you get this amazing end product, which is like healthy women that medicine's effective on. Oh yeah. Okay. So Samuel Cohn says, yes,
Samuel
Susan.
Cohn, by the way, used my favorite word of all time, but sorry, keep going.
Proportion of monies.
Monies.
Yes. Raise that goes towards actual research is low. That's right. I couldn't remember exactly.
The word monies. I love the word medicines.
Devin says, I work in healthcare, and part of the reason they avoid having women in initial studies is because of the risk of pregnancy, which can lead to birth defects. Yeah, since the thalidomide stuff. I'm in a drug study now, and all participants who have procreative sex must use protection for the entire study.
Don't these countries want more monies?
Don't these countries want more monies? Well, all you have to do, honeys, is give all the monies to the ladies.
I want my medicines and my monies. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Medicines are important.
And monies are important.
Absolutely.
And I want both of them.
I want my medicines. I want my monies. That's my new shirt.
I'll tell you, don't expect this shit to change anytime soon with whatever fucking idiot is running is RFK Jr.
Yeah, how dare you, Erin? Just because he has brain worms does not mean that you can sit here and bash him.
Sorry. Is it because he crawls inside of dead bear cadavers?
And then takes a dead whale to his backyard? Why would
yeah.
What else?
He's obsessed with dead things? You know who else was obsessed with dead things? Jeffrey Dahmer.
Isn't that wonderful?
Just saying.
Yeah. I mean, it's not, or you're saying it's nice when people have things in common because they ever meet for lunch.
If they do, it's just lunch.
If they call
it's just lunch and say, I have got to meet somebody who loves animal cadavers.
Does it's just lunch?
It still does.
Do they have a website and can you do it on the, oh my God. They have 8 Google reviews, but only 1 star. Oh my God. Let's look at the Google reviews. Keep your money. They don't do anything for you and they don't care. They take your money, promise you 12 dates, and you get 1 if you're lucky. You tell them what you're looking for, and that is not what they send you. Then they force you to take the date because whether you do or not, it counts toward the 12 dates you paid for. Basically, if you're not interested, you're down to 11 dates left. I had 1 date. It was forced on me, and it was a bad date. After that, I told them I only wanted to date one specific. Oh, okay. I'm not reading any further because this person is horrible. The only date I've had on It's Just Lunch was with a married man.
Yeah, who was using it?
They have broken multiple areas of their legal agreement, but the cost to sue outweighs what can be recovered. They don't even deserve 1 star. They're unprofessional, unorganized, and by far the biggest ripoff. See,
here's the problem. This is advice for everyone. I think everything can be turned into a learning experience, and this is no exception.
Yeah.
When you write a review and you're going to say somebody's bad, you need to have details or I don't believe you.
Oh my God. Stay clear. The service should be called It's Just a Waste of Time and Money. It's a complete waste of time. That's not good. It's not good at all. Go on a vacation instead. You'll have better luck. Wow.
It's Just Trash would be better. But it's still not good.
Oh my God. This person paid literally $4,000 and didn't even get 1 date.
But can I say something? If you're doing these things,
it's a waste of monies.
Go take a fucking photography class.
Or as Tom says, it's a waste of times and monies. Yes.
It's a waste of times and monies. Yeah. You don't need It's Just Lunch. Go on our Discord and meet somebody who listens to the show. Go take a fucking upholstery class. Go to the farmer's market and be very interested in oranges at every stand and then hope that sparks a conversation.
Or advocate for medicines.
Yes, advocate for medicines.
That is really, I'll tell you, Erin, that is really fucking disgusting.
Well, I can't believe it's still happening. I saw this report and I was like, oh, it's still happening? Mm-hmm. We're still doing this. I don't like that we're never going to not have a job.
I know. We should be out of business by now.
I really I want to be out of business. And it's never happening because life is too, the world is too mean. The world is too mean.
Matthew
says, Devin, you want to start a dating Discord? I can't think anything that would go wrong with that.
Do you know that I am so pissed? There's so much I don't know about, Erin. There's so much happening in culture that I have no idea about.
Oh, when I came back to LA and I didn't know what a Stanley Cup was. I thought it was I didn't know there was a mug award status thing going on.
Sure. I didn't know Stanley Daniels, the brother of Stormy Daniels. No.
And the
Stanley Cobb.
Drummer for Steely Dan.
That's right.
And Danielle Steele's stepfather.
Absolutely. I didn't know that Stormy Daniels, the one, the only, the revolutionary, the one who has led us to 32 counts, the one who has unfortunately tried to show the world that a convicted felon should not be the president. Turns out it didn't work that way. But Stormy Daniels hosts a show on OutTV called For the Love of DILFS. Did you know this?
No.
Get this. It's in its 3rd season.
What does that mean on the internet?
First of all, nothing, but OutTV. I have been longing for trashy gay reality shows because I feel like they never quite work. But in the dating sphere, I think they could. The problem is they've always tried to create like a Real Housewives that's gay men, but it just isn't the same. It doesn't work that way. I don't know why, but it does for dating shows. And For the Love of DILFs is the show I've been waiting for. And anyway, I found out that I can just download OutTV. I sound like I'm being paid by OutTV. All I know is this show sounds trash city. And
what is it? It's DILFs, but it's gay men dating each other?
So it's basically a DILF. It's a group of like what they're calling himbos and a group of DILFs. And they meet in a house and they couple off DILF and, daddy and whatever, himbo. And whichever couple lasts wins a lot of money.
How much? Because I'm going to do my tax thing. I'm going to do my calculation.
For the Love of DILFs. Prize money. Okay. Oh, no. Okay.
How much?
This world is more homophobic than I thought. That's all I'm going to say here. Just guess.
It's $100,000?
Lower.
15.
Lower.
5?
10,000. You have to leave your job and go on television and date a DILF for $10,000.
And beat other DILFs out.
Win and beat other DILFs out.
10,000. I mean, $10,000. I don't want to say it's nothing.
You don't even get to go on a whitewater river
taxes
raft.
On that. It's not $10,000. You don't get that money.
You don't even get to go rafting.
And then do you have to split it with the other person? Is it really 5 each?
Yeah.
Wow. For months of work. And by work, I mean sucking dick.
Anyway, what I found out from this, and this is really, I guess, no real shock, it's just weird to read, is that Stormy Daniels' life has obviously changed and probably will be for the rest of her life. Do you know she's constantly on the run?
Yeah.
She's always at an undisclosed location because she's threatened every minute. This time she was speaking from an RV mobile home during this interview, but no one knew from where. And anytime someone finds where she is, they publish it. Can you fucking imagine?
Nope.
All because she did the right thing. Anyway.
And what message does that send people who've experienced harassment or assault?
What message exactly? Oh, that they can be the president is the message it sends.
Well, I just mean like you can't stand up to that person as a woman because the goons will hunt you down.
It's so atrocious. But anyway, she also said this legendary quote, which I love. You know how hard it is to get that about Trump's reelection. You know how hard it is to get that orange dust off your hands? It gets everywhere. Apparently the metaphor sticks. She's absolutely right.
Wow.
She must have been scrubbing him off for weeks.
Ew.
Anyway, that was shocking to me. But also, there was some great press this week with Sarah McBride. As we've talked about before, the first out trans woman to be elected to the U.S. Congress, the U.S. House
Wait, can I repeat my thing too? If you are feeling down and out in Beverly Hills, you get right on the internet and you send her a note saying, I got your back.
I should also say Stormy Daniels also reads she reads tarot cards for people. I wouldn't mind that.
I would do it.
She does it in New Orleans. Let's go. Well, so Sarah McBride, and great point, Erin. I think it's never, I don't think you can say that too many times. I'm not even kidding. Talked about the sort of pain and pride of her win and this duality of pain and progress. And I thought that was really nice. She said, every previous generation has been forced to conquer seemingly impossible odds much greater than the ones we face right now. And I do not believe we will be the first generation of Americans to give up on the promise of this country. I think that is really optimistic. And almost to me, I'm sort of like, I don't want to hear that yet. Do you know what I mean? But I am also not an out trans woman who just won Congress. So if she can say it, I'll do my best to believe it, because if she's going to be up there taking all kinds of shit from not only so many people in this country, but every person elected to the US Congress, or practically every person, like, I can do my part too. And, I mean, it is true. That is the story of this nation, and every nation it's always one step forward and everyone panics and it's a few steps back. I will also say this, and we've talked about it a ton. Everyone processes grief differently. You don't have to be out there screaming, motivated, raring to go right now. Please. Every day. I mean, today, the Department of Transportation was appointed, and it's that dude, Sean Duffy, who was on Real World Real World Portland or Seattle.
I don't know, but Real World. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's great. Or was it Real World San Francisco? I can't remember. Who cares? Anyway, also, I didn't talk about last time about Emma Curtis, who became, okay, I'll tell you actually first what she said. On Blue Sky, she said, "Blue Sky, we're all hurting. I don't have the answers, but I know things won't be this bleak forever. I ran against a MAGA incumbent in a safe red district in Kentucky as a progressive, openly queer, 28-year-old trans woman. And I won. Please don't let your heartbreak turn into apathy or cynicism." So Emma Curtis became the first openly trans elected official in Kentucky when voters selected her for the Lexington Fayette Urban County Council. That's not nothing. She beat an incumbent MAGA safe red zone Republican. And this is a 28-year-old trans woman. Now, I can safely say for myself and for you, Erin, and for all of us, that like my grief has definitely turned into or I can say this from this part just for me. My grief has turned into
when are you going to speak for me, though?
In the next sentence. My grief right now, in this moment, is head in the sand. I don't have to worry about it. He hasn't been inaugurated. I'm not willing to think about it right now. I'm just not. I'm sorry. I click on the New York Times once in the morning and I scroll past what I don't want to read. That's where I'm at. But I can guarantee you when the time comes for me to dig my head out of the sand, for me to smile, and for me to really face the day, I know that my grief and my disappointment and my anger will not turn into apathy or cynicism. I know that. And I know that for everyone here too.
I'm already mad.
That's a beautiful thing. Are you already there? I'm not. I mean, I'm obviously mad, but I'm also just like, please, I can't take it.
Well, I'm going to tell you something that's my secret. And anybody can do this. You just have to be born the daughter of a Vietnam vet who is very socialist and liberal to be exposed to a world your entire life by a man who absolutely hates his country and was made to go fight in a war he didn't believe in because he had no choice, and still could laugh and joke around and have moments of pure silliness, even though he did something that I can't even imagine. He always, my dad threw away every single jury summons, every single one. He said, fuck this country. He would not stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. And I grew up thinking this country was trash. And I'm sure anybody who is a part of a group who feels like this country has never worked for them feels very similarly. So, it depends on whether or not exactly what you said, Brian. Were you raised in a household where you believed the promise or you didn't?
Right. But any reaction anyone's having right now, whether it's disassociation, whether it's crippling anxiety, whether it's ignoring it, it's all valid right now. Just do you right now. Mm-hmm. There's nothing we can do in this exact moment. Just take care of yourself so that later it doesn't turn into apathy. All of that is fine. Okay.
Whatever you're feeling, even if it's just absolute rage, you have to take care of yourself because
that's right.
These are unsustainable feelings and they render you useless.
Governor Beshear, Andy Beshear, from Kentucky, speaking of Kentucky, was on Face the Nation this week on CNN.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Andy Beshear is one of those governors who is a Democrat in a very red state, and this is again why, even if it's a straight ally, like, props to and support to the people who are doing the right thing. Andy Beshear earlier this year, which I talked about.
That's so funny because it rhymes.
Exactly.
Andy Beshear this year. What did he do? Everyone cheer.
That's really cute, Erin.
Feels like you're patronizing me it's like you're like my mom and I did something dumb but you don't want to hurt my feelings.
So that's why you're wearing to the store today, or do you normally get your mail in the outfit like that?
Oh, my blood went cold.
Yeah.
My blood ran cold.
Yeah, we'll go. Just throw on some lipstick and we'll go.
My mom once said to me,
you?
My mom once said, she goes, "You're not going to go to the store without mascara on, are you?"
Yep.
Well, yeah, absolutely was.
Just put on some mascara and I'll meet you in the car.
Oh, sorry. Were you wanting someone to just fuck me in the grain aisle? What's the end game here?
That's so good. That's really good. Did you say that to your mother?
No, I didn't.
I'm going to tell my sister that one. The next time my mom says that to my sister.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I love when we go to Publix, the grocery store? You know what I love? I love when you wear that one. Oh, okay. I just didn't, what did you say? I didn't think anyone was
because you want someone to want to fuck me in the grain aisle?
Yeah, I wasn't planning on fucking anyone while we were there, but okay.
Oh, you know what? I never thought it might happen to me one day. Just a girl in the jam aisle waiting to be fucked.
Right, exactly. We can only hope. So earlier this year, someone else who did something right here, Governor Andy Beshear of Kentucky, a red state with a blue governor, vetoed a big anti-trans bill that would have forced everyone under the age of 18 to detransition in the state of Kentucky.
What a fucking monstrous thing.
So fucked up. He vetoed that and also said, let's be clear, conversion therapy. We talked about this a long time ago, but conversion therapy has no basis in medicine or science. It's been shown to increase rates of suicide and depression. This is about doing what's right and protecting our children. Hate is not who we are as Kentuckians. Debatable, but if you say so. Anyway, he was on Face the Nation and they asked him about this and he said, I voted down one of the nastiest anti-LGBTQ plus bills my state has ever seen in my election year. But I did two things. Number one, I talked about why. And Andy Beshear is a self-described strong Christian, but he said, my faith, I'm taught all children are children of God. And I wanted to stick up for children who were being picked on, which, by the way, if you do have religious parents or you are a religious person, that's a great thing to say. Like, yeah, I don't think God is here to teach us to pick on children. But he said the second thing is I want to focus on, this is how probably every lawmaker should have been thinking and maybe doesn't and probably doesn't, is the main thing that voters in my state are concerned about are jobs. So I'm here to fix jobs. A third of my time has gone to stuff that really doesn't matter. And all people ever ask me about is sort of, what am I going to do to stop LGBTQ progress? And it's like, well, here's some stuff I've done that you haven't asked about. I opened a new health clinic. I opened the first hospital in a neighborhood that hasn't had one in 150 years. I created 2 pediatric autism centers in Appalachia so that people don't have to drive 2 hours to go to them. Like, why don't you ask me about shit I have done?
Yeah.
Instead of asking me about how I'm going to roll back progress. Like, this is how we should be holding everyone accountable. He's not my hero or anything. I don't think it takes a lot for someone to veto a bill like that. That's the problem.
He's like doing the fucking bare minimum as a human.
Exactly. And so at least people should be doing that much. But I hope this was at least like when you hear someone as strong as Sarah McBride, certainly someone as impressive and strong and truly out of the box as Emma Curtis, who won her election in Kentucky on the county council, like, those are not small wins. Those are major wins. And as long as we keep supporting people like that and showing up for them the way that they're going to show up for us and the people like them, like, I really do think that this will and can end. There's so much progress that can also happen in times of peril. And I am lucky enough as a white gay man to not feel in California, I should say, to not feel the wrath and the burn that trans people and people of color particularly feel in this country, and certainly immigrants. And so at a certain point, I do want to like regain my constitution and my strength and, you know, just make sure that this is yet another 4-year phase that we can get the hell out of. I'm not worried about right now what the Democrats are messaging and how doomed we are. What I am thrilled about is how we finally have people in Congress who have never been in there and people who are doing the right thing and how they can be supported.
Well, Bryan, if you want to get stronger, I have one suggestion.
No, I already did like 100 squats today.
Creatine. Oh. But are you doing creatine?
Is creatine the same as
collagen?
Yes. And also, is creatine the same as whey protein? Does anybody know? That surely the doctors know.
No,
it's not, Amy. Well, so what am I supposed to have after a workout?
What is creatine?
God, all I see is a chat room full of no's. So then why do I need creatine after a workout or do I need protein after a workout?
Creatine's bad for you. That's what Devin said. Do the doctors agree?
Devin was at my show. Devin, are you mad I didn't talk about creatine?
No one knows what creatine is. And Amy said there's some disagreement about it. And it's right on this chat.
Fuck. This is getting crazy. Oh, yeah, I'm addicted to Celsius too.
What's Creatine's, Celsius?
So it's like a vitamin B energy drink, like that's supposedly healthier than Red Bull.
You know what I'm addicted to? Fruits and vegetables.
Oh, well, don't be addicted to carrots. You might get, do you have to see this? I love, okay, recall. It's recall corner time. Recalls. Carrots have been recalled, organic carrots.
Oh, I've seen this, yes.
Yeah. And also the butter at Costco was recalled because they forgot to put in the allergen section on the butter, they forgot to put milk.
But it's still butter.
So they issued a warning to everyone who bought it. If you're allergic to milk, don't eat butter.
But come on, is that where we're at?
It's where we're at.
I don't think we need this.
That's where we're at. All right. You know what? I'm not going to get into creatine. Devin, okay. We'll keep moving.
We want to thank our lady attorneys for joining us yet again. And I feel like this was we really got a lot of stuff out in the chat. We got a lot of stuff out and we're going to have it out in our Q&A afterwards. Because we ask serious questions and we talk about serious issues on this show. And for 1 second, we joked around about creatine and it's literally lighting up. We
need to get clear. By the way, Erin, what do you think creatine is?
I have no idea. I actually have no idea. I don't know.
We'd like to thank
and we
Sergio.
Never will know, and I never want to know. Thank you,
Go
Sergio.
see his show in Stockton. Look out for my LA and New York dates for my show. Please review us on Spotify. And
you'll see me nowhere. See me nowhere. Try to find me.
God, Erin. You know what? You really did like that. You just were a character on Dr. Phil who walks off the set. You were very Catch Me Outside.
I was Catch Me Outside. How about that?
You were.
Yeah.
All right. I guess listen, if you want to join in on our creatine and our Curetine and join the lady attorney. Okay. Everything will be on patreon.com/attitudes. I got to get to the bottom of this.